I think the first full-length feature movie I ever saw was Disney's Peter Pan, and I must have been really profoundly influenced by it. Once this house developed into a three-story, it had to have a name, you know. All the big pretentious mansions have names, and so this became Casa Neverlandia, which there's no such word as Neverlandia. It's just, you know, it's just anglicized Spanish. This is a greenhouse. In fact, it got third in Natural Home Magazine's House of the Decade. Besides the solar panels, there's continuous skylight. There's a double membrane roof with a reflective barrier and an air space and a ridge vent. There's gray water and rainwater catchment, a lot of recycled materials. My electric bill is between $10 and $15 a month for the electricity. A lot of that has to do with lifestyle. I've chosen to live without air conditioning or central heat, so I either dress up or dress down. Pretty much every blank space that I have is a request to decorate. So I built these fun little steps. I think Disney was a big inspiration along with Gaudi, and I like that kind of dense little wonderland effect of going through things up and down and around and under. It's hard to say where fantasy ends and reality begins. Throughout the house, there are pieces from my past. I've gone back to most of the places I've lived and brought back a brick or stone or a tile. And that includes places that have influenced me. They're parked here and there, kind of hidden away. There's a big fat brick from London. Yeah, that's one of the first places I remember. We were in Marrakesh in 1953. So that little tile there I picked up in a kind of a landfill that I remember going through that had lots of little hills. Even have Elvis's birthplace. Went through Mississippi once, and so I thought, well, I better stop. And so I crawled around under the house and looking for a brick, and finally in the corner of the yard I found something. They never caught me. So this living space is laid out in a kind of a cruciform. In it I've paid homage to the four elements, or three so far. And the first place that I really completed in the house was the fire altar. And this is a Rumford-style fireplace. You'll notice that there's quite a bit of radiant heat compared to a conventional fireplace, and that's just because it's a very upright, shallow firebox. Now, directly opposite the fire altar is the earth altar. There's a lot of symbols from the tarot deck and from other traditions, including a nice big geode in the center. Some of my father's ashes are in the mortar. Back in this direction is the air altar, which is about 85% done. It's kind of a magical place to be. So I spent a lot of time out here, and I even have a fire pole that comes down from two upper balconies to get down here quickly. And I've got a nice view of the beautiful live oak. And this is my dryer, my clothes dryer, my solar-powered, wind-driven dryer. So these are some of my wall hangings and sculptures. And so I've not only taught myself metalwork, but also ceramic work and stained glass and whatever else, you know, I can cobble together to get an effect. Things change a little bit here. Rather than kind of the little cozy spaces, I've got this kind of a big open vertical, almost church-like area that we've used for everything from house concerts with 60 people to dancing, yoga. But yeah, you can see the driveway down there, and you can see some of the tile work that you might have missed. So this is where I do the beadwork. And you might want to turn around because there's probably 1,000 jars of beads here. Also overhead, I've got pictures of lots of people that have influenced me over my lifetime. some of the teachers at Rice, and Roy Rogers and Gaudí and Debussy, whoever, Joseph Campbell. Just kind of reminders of different aspects of my personality that I want to develop. And then out here is yet a bigger area where I can do more woodwork. So, and right now I'm working on the end board of the bed. I don't know if you can tell it, but this kind of tiki style bamboo work with stained glass insets that's going to go on the end of the bed upstairs. At some point, I don't know, about 10 years ago, the house really started feeding me back. Up until then, it was always, feed me, tell me, work on this, work on that. And I'd stress out about it, and people say, are you finished with the house yet? And that's kind of a weird question. It's like, are you finished brushing your teeth? Are you finished eating? When I thought of it in terms of an ongoing process, then I quit stressing out about it. One hope is empowerment. When people come here, they realize they get to think about their priorities, and then once you know what you want, then you've got a much better chance of getting it. Oh, another fun thing is the mail slot is right next to the couch, which is right next to the recycling bin, and so one-stop shopping.